It's the BS and Through Sports Show, and there is a lot to cover today. Now, the Luka trade and the Anthony Davis trade, the biggest trade in NBA history, happened over the weekend. We already covered that, along with De'Aaron Fox. We already covered the NBA shakeup, especially in the West. Zach LaVine, De'Aaron Fox, Anthony Davis, and Luka Doncic all traded on the same day. We already covered the NBA shakeup, but then there's more news coming out of the chaotic day of the NBA. There's more news. It spews as like a hurricane. You get the feeder bands, the tornadoes, the little stuff, and then they might turn into some damage. Yes, the NBA is still on fire, and there's more and more and more and more and more news coming out by the second. First, I want to start with the NBA. But the NBA is the talk of the day. They have stole the headlines for the first day of Super Bowl week. I mean, if you want the NBA to get a ratings boost during the season, you steal some of the headlines for Super Bowl week, you're doing a goddamn good job. And the NBA is on fire. It's on fire. Not because of the games that are going to be played today, not because of the games that were played yesterday, but the trades that are happening, and they're going to affect playoff seeding and playoff contention. That's why the NBA is on fire. First, let's start. A lot of this has to do with the Suns and the Warriors and the Heat. First, Bradley Beal reportedly prefers to stay in Phoenix and not uproot his family. He wants to stay in Phoenix. He has the worst contract in the NBA. He has a no-trade clause. He's owed $50 million. Bradley Beal wants to stay in Phoenix. So what does this mean? This means the Suns, who have clearly been looking to trade him, have benched him. He was a part of their original Big Three and have now benched him. They want to get rid of him. They've been wanting to get rid of him. It's been evident. They want to try to deal him in getting Jimmy Butler. The Suns really want Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler really wants the Suns. Okay. And Jimmy Butler, pretty much through actions, has said that he's been promised by the Suns an extension, because that seems like the only team he wants to go to, as he has declined signing an extension with the Warriors if traded there. So clearly the Suns have promised Jimmy an extension if they get him. And Bradley Beal would have to make the money work, would be a player to make the money work, to make the trade work, with picks and all that. So he will need to be traded in the Jimmy Butler deal, but he has the no-trade clause. He has the most power out of everyone in the Suns, the Heat, in that whole trade scenario. Bradley Beal, a bench player now, even though he's a good player, a bench player now has the most power in that deal, as he can go wherever he wants. He has the worst contract in sports. And Bradley Beal's a good player. Don't confuse his contract, his bad contract, for being a good player. He is a great player. But at this point, this Jimmy Butler situation is getting way too out of hand. It needs to be like Damian Lillard. The NBA needs to get involved. Because clearly Jimmy is not wanting to go to any of these other teams but the Suns, or a team that's going to guarantee him money. This is all about money. And clearly he doesn't want to go to any other team besides a team that's going to guarantee him money in the future. And the Suns, that's the team. They're going to guarantee money in the future. But they can't do anything because they have Bradley Beal. And Bradley Beal, even though he's unwanted, wants to stay. I mean, if you're unwanted somewhere, why do you want to stay there? Go somewhere else. Go score 25 a game, because you probably can do it. If you're on a Nets team, a Wizards team, go back to the Wizards. Go to the Nets. Go somewhere else where you're going to be able to score and you're wanted somewhat. You'll be the main guy there. Why, Bradley Beal, do you want to stay? I understand you're a family guy. Why do you want to stay somewhere you're unwanted? Why? And the NBA, with this Jimmy Butler situation, needs to get involved. Simple as that. Why is Jimmy Butler just going around when Damian Lillard can do this? I only want to go here. He's saying I want to go here, so he'll go anywhere, so the NBA doesn't get involved. But they're falling right into his hand. Because he only wants to go to the Suns, or a team that's going to guarantee him money, and the Suns are the only team that's going to guarantee him money. NBA's playing right into Jimmy Butler's tricks, and they're falling for it. Jimmy Butler is causing chaos. He doesn't want to go to the Warriors. A report came out, Brian Windhorst, that he will not sign an extension with the Warriors if traded there. The Heat need to work on this deal already. This is getting out of hand. But Jimmy Butler's making it impossible, and now they have Bradley Beal with the worst contract in sports, making it double impossible. Now he doesn't want to go anywhere, and he wants to stay in Phoenix. The NBA is on chaos right now. And now, I just saw a report that said the Warriors are going after any all-star they can find. They're calling up every NBA team for an all-star. They want Giannis. Who doesn't want Giannis, right? They called for LeBron. They have called for Jimmy. They've called for KD. They want an all-star to do the diligence to Curry to say, hey, we'll give you another superstar to make a run at it while you're here and while you're still in your good final years. Which is great for the Warriors, but it's tough finding an all-star. So hopefully they find an all-star. We can flip this NBA even more into more chaos. I want the Warriors to find an all-star because when Curry's with someone, it's goddamn entertaining. But when Curry's without someone, he has to try to do it by himself. He's getting locked up, and the team around him can't do anything. So hopefully they find an all-star. And honestly, I hope it's Jimmy Butler because the Heat fan in me wants Kuminga or wants those picks from the Warriors much rather than trading him to the Suns. But now here's why I would want Jimmy Butler to trade to the Suns. This is a whole puzzle piece here. This is a whole puzzle piece. Kevin Durant and the Suns are now opening and listening to trades for Kevin Durant. The Suns sit at 8th in the West after losing to the Trailblazers this weekend. Terrible loss. It's the 8th in the West with the team that went all in, fired their coach, got a new coach, and now they're a team that went all in and they suck. And they're a playing team right now. A team that went all in, $50 million contracts here, $50 million, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, all max players. And they can't do nothing. They don't have nobody around them. So now they're listening to trades with Kevin Durant. And what does that mean? I mean, if Kevin Durant always wanted Miami and Jimmy Butler wants Phoenix, I mean, we can maybe do something there. So Kevin Durant is now a player to watch. Out of this whole Luka, Anthony Davis, De'Aaron Fox, Zach LaVine chaos, Kevin Durant, possibly, even though it's a slim chance, might be on the move here. This is insane. The NBA is out of control right now, and it's great. The Suns are listening to talks for Kevin Durant. And the Warriors are interested and want an all-star. The Heat are interested in getting something back for Jimmy. So maybe it could be Jimmy and KD trade, another blockbuster all-NBA trade right there. This is insane. I hope Kevin Durant gets traded to the Heat. Probably won't happen. But this whole big puzzle piece here is the Warriors, they want an all-star, but they can't get Jimmy. The Suns want Jimmy, but Bradley Beal doesn't want to be part of the trade. And the Heat are also being stubborn on what they get. Jimmy Butler wants to go somewhere, but he doesn't really want to go somewhere. He wants to go somewhere where he's going to get paid, and that's probably only in the Phoenix. And then Kevin Durant, on a team that's supposed to be all in, is still in the later final good years of his career, and the Suns don't look very promising, so you might want to move off of him. So can Kevin Durant go to the Warriors again? Can Kevin Durant go to the Heat? Because I feel like both teams got the pieces to trade for Kevin Durant. Jimmy Butler, Jovic, Jaquez, Kuminga, and whatever else you get. Picks. For Dembski, this is a whole big bundle of chaos for the NBA. And the chaos is amazing. Every team is trying to get better and trying to counter these trades that are going on with De'Aaron Fox going to the Spurs, making them ultimately better. Luka teaming up with LeBron, that's going to be better. The Mavs still look pretty damn good with Anthony Davis. So it's all just the chain reaction from these two huge trades happening over the weekend. So it's going to be interesting with the trade deadline only 2 days away and Jimmy Butler, an all-NBA player, an all-star, still trying to get traded. And then the Suns still trying to make it happen with terrible contract situation. And then the Warriors also trying to add all-star alongside Steph Curry. Crazy stuff. But now, what I want to do is I saw something over the weekend. I don't know if it went viral yet or semi-viral. I want to play this most dumbest, idiotic sports take, opinion, I don't even know, reporting. What do you call this shit? It is awful. I don't know what this lady, Ashley Nicole Moss, CBS reporter, I believe, was trying to get at when reacting to the Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis trade. This was some of the stupidest thing. This one of the stupidest takes or opinions I ever seen. I mean, I don't know what she was trying to get at, what she was trying to talk about. She was just trying to give something hot to react to the piece. I'm going to play it here.
We just heard from Avery Johnson just a minute ago. I asked him, are the Lakers done? Are they done making moves? And he doesn't seem to think that this is the last move they're going to make. Are you on the same page with Avery here?
Absolutely. And I think that this is not the last move that the Mavericks will make either. I'd be interested if Anthony Davis is a piece that ultimately the Mavericks potentially use to try to get Jimmy Butler. They weren't going to send Luka to Miami in all intensive purposes. They were probably going to require a lot more than Miami was going to be willing to give up. But maybe a swap between Anthony Davis and Jimmy Butler is more feasible. I don't see the Lakers going after Jimmy. They were never a team that I thought were going to go after him, especially now that they have Luka. There's no way that they're going to land another big fish like that. But I absolutely agree with Avery.
The bottom half of that clip is just Captain Obvious. Obviously the Lakers aren't going to go after Jimmy Butler after trading for Luka. What else are they going to give up? Another big? They don't even got one of those. Captain Obvious, the second half, and then the first half was some of the dumbest shit I ever heard. Anyone could be a sports reporter, a sports talker like me. I'm doing it, but this is more brain rot. The most brain rot stuff I ever heard after the Luka trade. Maybe the swap between the Mavs and the Heat for Jimmy Butler and Anthony Davis. If you wanted to do that, you would just trade Luka for Jimmy Butler straight up, and then you get Jovic, Jaquez, and all the young core from the Heat with picks. Why are you going to do this trade and then try to trade Anthony Davis for Jimmy Butler? Now you got Kyrie, Clay, and Jimmy as your big three. That was just awful. If you want to do it, you trade Luka to the Heat, which is also something that's been developing. I saw a report that said the Heat and the Lakers are two teams Luka has been eyeing. And that's a Heat goal right there, is to try to go get Luka in 2026. He hasn't signed an extension yet. He's not eligible for the Supermax, so maybe that leaves him available to more teams. His option more available to more teams, which is very, very interesting. Summer 2026, Pat Riley's big summer, apparently. That's what we've been saving for. That's what we've been looking towards. Getting money for 2026. The NBA is crazy. This lady's giving bad takes throughout this whole chaos. I don't know what to get out of this. But Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, the Warriors, Jimmy Butler, and Luka, it's all going crazy. It's all going mayhem right now. It's got everybody spewing out anything at this point. Jesus. The Florida Panthers on Sunday beat the New York Islanders 6-3 on a back-to-back, and the day before took on the shitty Chicago Blackhawks and beat them 5-1 after allowing a 7-second goal. The Florida Panthers are now on a 3-game winning streak. Yes, 3-game winning streak. They started against the Los Angeles Kings. We beat them 3-0. Bob shutout. Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday, 5-1. Bob only let up one goal, and that was 7 seconds. So that means in 5 periods of play, Bob Brovsky, 5 of the last 6 periods of play, has shut the opponent's lights out. Yes, and the Panthers, Carter Verhaeghe got going last night. Carter Verhaeghe, 3 goals and an assist last night. 2, I believe, were in the first period. He had the first and second goal of the game. And the Panthers have just been scoring as of late. Starting off the first period hot. They were just jumping at their opponents in the first period these last 2 games. And the goalkeeping has been good. Even Spencer Knight, 3 goals, left 3 goals. We got to score 6. That doesn't matter. But Bob Brovsky has been insane. It's been a sluggish start to the season, especially after a crazy playoff performance by Bob last season. But Spencer Knight has been holding the fort down for the season. But Bob is starting to get Bobby again. He's starting to get the big wall of Bob again. And the Panthers are on a 3-game winning streak. Yes, and they take on the Capitals tomorrow or today, whenever you're listening to this. The Capitals are not a bad team, I believe. Let's make sure of that. Can't be spewing out fake news here. Yeah, they're definitely not a bad team. I don't know. I thought they were 34-11. Not a bad team at all. So let's see how the Panthers do on the road in Washington. And hopefully they continue in the winning streak to 4-0.